So this is where we can take all the things we learned about scales and chords and really put them together to do the music you want in some really cool ways. We're first going to recap what Nashville chords are and go from there into chord patterns.
Learning how music works will help any musician in every way. Speaking music.
So the Nashville chords system is really just numbering the chords in the scale you're in. So your C, if you're in the C scale, your C would be 1, and it would just be an I, like this. Your D minor would be 2 minor, 2 I's. E minor would be 3 I's. F would be your 4th chord, that would be an IV. V would be your 5th one, G, the G chord. Your 6th chord is A minor, that would be 6, VI minor. And your 7 would be VII, which is diminished chord. So no matter what scale you're playing in, you're going to play them in the order that it's showing you. If someone says, a 1, 4, 5 or whatever, the Nashville chord system will use numbers, usually shown through Roman numerals, for showing what chords you're playing. So let's talk about chord progressions. Chord progressions are super awesome because of a few things. One, it's a group of chords that you play in a certain order and you play them over and over throughout the song or throughout a chorus or a section of the song. Chord pattern could be several, there could be several small chord patterns throughout a song or something like that. But what it does is it allows you to just focus on those chords and know exactly what's coming next, and you don't have to have your eyes glued on the sheet music, whatever that is. You know exactly what you're going to be playing because it's the whole chord pattern. So as an example, let's look at Canon in D. Now Canon in D is a song that's written hundreds of years ago, and it's lasted and become super popular through weddings, graduations, different events like that. One of the biggest reasons, in my mind, is because it has a very definite chord pattern that runs through the entire song, which is a more modern way of writing music. So we notice that in our normal listening to songs, and it's something that runs in our mind over and over again, like a rhyme or a different phrase, catchphrase. The chord pattern is something that keeps going in our mind, and it's something that we like. So in this case, we have the chord pattern goes D, A, B minor, F sharp minor, G, D, G, A. 8 chords, each of them 1 measure each, and the entire song of Canon in D continues to play that way. Now, let me pull up the song. So here we have the first 8 measures is that chord pattern. Second 8 measures, the melody is changing, but the chords stay the same. Next 8 measures, same chords, different melody again. Next 8 measures, same chords. Next 8 measures, same chords. Next 8 measures, same chords again. The entire song, it's going to just be playing 1 measure each for those exact same chords. So if we were thinking of this in the respect of Nashville chords or numbered chords, D is in the key of D. That's why we call it the canon in D. So D would be 1. Your chords in D are D, E minor, F sharp minor, whoop, there we go, G, A, B minor, and C sharp diminished, which is not in the canon in D. So first we have D, which is 1. Next we have A, which is 5. B minor, which is 6. F sharp minor, which is 3. G, which is 4. D, which is 1, G, which is 4, and then A again, which is 5. So that would be your chord pattern in numbered chords or Nashville chords. So 1, 5, 6, 3, 4, 1, 4, 5. So no matter how you're playing this, these chords are going to stay the same throughout the song. And that is so nice as a musician. I've had to play for some graduations and some weddings. And especially for weddings, you have different bridesmaids walking down the aisle, and say someone's taking way longer than they should. You can just jump to the next section, play another section of these 8 chords, and anytime you're coming to the end of one of these chord patterns, you can end the song. So if I have to stretch it out a little bit, but I don't want to play the entire song again, which would take forever, you can cut it off fairly quickly whenever you need to, which as a musician is a godsend, because that is so helpful to be able to easily finish off a song because it's this way. Also, if you lose your place, someone else is continuing on, it's easy to jump back in because you know the chord pattern and where they're going next. So, not all chord patterns are going to sound the same. Here are some very normal chord patterns you'll find. So, the 1, 5, 6, 4 pattern, some people call this the pop pattern. And I'm going to have a link below to a super funny video about a pop song. And they play probably 50 different songs throughout this song showing how the chord pattern is the same. And it's just a really amazing musicianship that they do. So check that out afterwards. But this would be something like Adele's Someone Like You, Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. But really, if you Google this chord pattern, you're going to find so many songs that are just these 4 chords the entire time. A general chord pattern you'll find is similar, but 1, 4, 5, 1. Like REM's Stand, it's an older song, and James Blunt, You're Beautiful. It doesn't have quite the same feel at all as the other one, but you will find this continually through a lot of music. Similar to that is, instead of 1, 4, 5, 1, is 1, 5, 4, 1. Like Blink 182's All the Small Things, Lady Gaga's Born This Way. So if it's just another like basic chord pattern. And some different ones you'll find that are jazz chord patterns. 2, 5, 1. Mostly jazz, but you also see in some pop, like Bohemian Rhapsody or Imagine Dragons Radioactive, which is almost that. 2, 5, 1, and then 4 for Radioactive. So what's the point of looking up some of these? Well, if you're writing music, for one, you're going to want to find a chord pattern, make it up yourself, whatever, but has a certain mood to it. The mood of this pop progression is going to be very different than the jazz one. So in order to create a type of sound that you want, you're going to have to get into that groove and into that progression. If another great thing, if you're just learning, is you can learn a chord pattern like 1, 5, 6, 4, that pop pattern, and then you can play so many different songs. The rhythm's going to change. There's so many things that will change in the songs, and you will get better and better as a musician. But you can just learn those 4 chords and play it so many different songs. And that one last thing you have to think about is, oh, where's this chord going? What's going next? You know, you can start getting into the groove and learn that pattern really well and learn to mix it up. Learn to play it in different keys. It'll be so helpful to learn and to just get better and better as a musician. So go online, search for chord patterns, search for a song that you like, and Just Google what's the chord pattern of this song, and then search for other songs that are the same chord pattern so that you can start learning more and more songs and have fun with it.
Learn more about music theory in a simple and practical way on our website and our full music theory book. In it, we teach about the keys, the chords, transposing, modes, and the basics of sheet music. Speaking music.